Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. From Disney Plus Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, we have the Darth Vader figure. So for the contents of our purchase, we have the Darth Vader figure and a single accessory, which is the lightsaber. Okay, so let's start this review with the articulation points of the figure. So I moved much of the soft good materials to expose the articulation points of the figure. So I have blue gloves on, so the camera would concentrate on this guy instead of my fingers. Okay, so for the head area, because of the neck protection, so that's going to hinder the head tilts. Not much head tilts, side to side. As you could hear, we have that creak because I think of the soft goods cape, the cloth cape that is included with this figure, and every time that you move that head, there's going to be friction of some sort or resistance. So for the body of the figure, we don't have an abdominal cup, so we don't have a bend on the diaphragm area of the figure. So no forward bends, no backward bends. All of the articulation points would be centered on the waistline for just this motion sideways. But with regards to sideways motion, you are also quite limited because of the soft material or the cloth goods that is sandwiched in between the belt and the cape guard. So if you do more, if you extend more using the belt buckle as center line, you're going to risk ripping off or detaching this soft material. So for the arms, the entire arm, because this area is nicely exposed, we have good rotation, we have sideways movement, so it's possible for this Darth Vader to pose him on a letter T. We don't have any bicep cut for rotation of the arm. All of the articulation point for majority of the arm would be concentrated on the elbow bend, which is ample enough, and we have rotation on that elbow. We don't have any articulation point on the forearm, but we have rotation on the hand area and a hinge. So for the legs, let's expose the legs. We have bicep cut, thigh cut for rotation of the leg, 2 points of articulation for the knee, and let's take a look at that knee bend, and forward motion for the leg. We have good articulation for the leg, so high kicks, side kicks, except for back kicks because of how the butt is constructed or the briefs is constructed. So you're going to have the hindrance on this side, which does not allow for movement of the leg backwards. So for the feet of the figure, we have this maximum of tilt for the foot, and we have a rocker system. So let's take a look at a single accessory that is included with this Darth Vader figure. So a look at the sword hilt. Okay, focus. So the beam or the blade could be detached, and that is the diameter of the connection point of the beam towards the lightsaber. So the opening on the lightsaber hilt is just as accurate as a Darth Vader lightsaber. So nice details on this, really nice and simple. And as to length of this beam blade, so oops, okay, so just be careful when you start to attach the blade onto the handle. Take a look at the groove of how the groove is set, because it is angled. So if you try to jam it in without checking the grooves on the beam blade and you try to force it in, you're going to destroy the opening of the lightsaber. So just check out how that groove is set at a certain angle and match it with the beam saber. So when you attach it, it's going to be nice and straight. So as for total length of the blade, that's about a 3.25 inch blade. But it is not as transparent compared to the other Star Wars Black Series action figures. The blade on this Darth Vader actually is a little bit darker, not really as transparent as we wish it could be. So when light touches it, for example in this review table we have 8 bulbs at 400 lumens per bulb, so actually I still can't see through the blade. It's really the tint on the blade, even if it's quite transparent, it's still really dark. For storage of the beam saber or lightsaber or whatever you want to call it, we have this point or hanging point, and just look for it on the side of Darth Vader, and as you could see, there is the loop on the belt wherein you could hang this piece this way. That is if you wish to display your Darth Vader figure without a lightsaber, and that is how it looks with the saber slung onto the belt of Darth Vader. And somehow, if you're going to display it this way, that is going to be covered by this ginormous cape that he has on. So please do stand up, boy, because we are going to capture that on camera. This is a really big cape worthy of a Batman action figure. Look at that spread. And the material that was used for the soft goods on this action figure is really nice and thick, and it's not as see-through as the other Vader that I have. It's really thick and quite rubbery. But the only thing is we don't have any weights on the end of the cape, so sometimes it's going to just flap sideways. So the simple remedy for this kind of unweighted piece for the cape, we just attach a velcro lining or a pad on the underside, which we're going to do right now. Okay, so we already have the Velcro attached to the ends of the cape, so just the front side. But if you wish to attach on the underside too for the back, it is also possible. So really nothing fancy, something that you could buy at Home Depot, Target, or Walmart. So just use this softer side. So it's a stick-on material and it's heavy duty, so it's going to stay on that cape forever and ever. Amen. Okay, so with that Velcro attachment to the ends of the cape, actually it wears the whole cape down, so it's not a fluffy thing anymore. So when you try to move or position the cape this way, so it's going to follow. Now it's just going to be how you position the ends of the cape on the neck area, because that is where you're going to really find this flap, that McDonald looking flap on the front of the figure, which sometimes looks annoying. So you have to just reposition that cape sideways this way, and actually it still looks good. So the only noticeable part that is I think really is new with this action figure would be on the helmet or the head sculpt. And even though we really have lacking articulation points on the head area, actually it's a trade-off. So if you want articulation points, then the neck guard is going to suffer a bit because you have to take off material, and the construction of the sternum area would be really different. So it's going to take a toll on the design of the shoulders and the body of the figure. So it's a trade-off between having an accurate Darth Vader action figure and a highly articulating Darth Vader action figure. So that is something that Hasbro has to really do a lot of research and experiment on to come up with a new mold for a Darth Vader figure, because I understand that, or I think that this is a rehash or reissue of other Vader figures, and they just took parts of the other Vader figures which are good and placed it on this. They used a different kind of cloth which is more actually of good quality. It's thicker, and the black paint or color on the cape actually is nice and matte, not glossy, not see-through, so that I really appreciate. And with regards to the paint job on the control panels or the life support systems for the details on the body of the figure actually is okay. So instead of having a very glossy finish, I prefer the matte finish which is present in this Darth Vader figure. So especially on the chest area and on the helmet, because if you're going to rewatch the movies, somehow it is really not that glossy, or perhaps how the light is angled towards the suit, so it gives off that shine. But majority of the images in the movie would show quite a matte armor finish, except for, of course, the gloves, the inner lining of the suit, and of course the boots. So those are really shiny boots that are present on this figure, especially the shin area, which is terribly shiny compared to the helmet that is on this figure. So with regards to the shape of the helmet, I know that this is a newer mold. I have seen other Darth Vader figures and it is quite different, the shape of the head sculpt. So I'm glad that I withheld purchasing from the collectible toy stores, opened Darth Vader action figures or loose Vader figures, which are actually sold for a lung, a kidney, and a heart. But with this release, I'm glad that I was able to get a second copy of Darth Vader. The one that I previously had a detachable helmet and a chain to hold on to the cape, which Darth Vader I am really keeping inside the box. So I have been wishing for a Darth Vader figure that I could possibly display in my Star Wars case. So this is going to be it. So I got this figure from my local Target, and there were about 4 of these on shelves. And I think it really does not matter whether from which year this Darth Vader or parts of this Darth Vader came from. As long as it is a Vader figure, it's going to sell. So from 4 to none in just about 2 seconds. So there were 4 of us and 1 per collector. So we were just glad to have our copies of Darth Vader. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next action figure review.